was funny. It was funny how we got it because there was a canal, like an irrigation canal, that we used to go to hang out in the back of my house growing up, and we were out there fucking swimming around in the canal or whatever, and this bird just kind of flew over to my stepdad's shoulder and landed there. And
you gotta take him
it
home.
was obviously a house bird. Yeah, we caught it and we took it home and
That's
kept it
fucking
there. It was
badass.
a cool bird. But I fucking hate birds. They stink. As a pet, I don't think I would have one. I can appreciate them, but I don't think I would have a fucking
I think
bird.
they're a lot easier than dogs and cats.
My dream bird is an African gray.
Yeah,
oh, there you go.
Kinds of shit. Yeah, I want something like that too.
They have a real good vocabulary, and I don't know. Maybe it's because, well, actually, no. I was going to say maybe it's because I went gray early, but like I'm prone to like gray animals. The blue heeler, they're gray, but I liked African grays in high school, so
that's funny.
African grays are pretty. I've always thought if I had a bird, it would probably be an African gray as well. The most annoying fucking bird is scarlet macaw.
Yeah,
I went to Costa Rica, and those motherfuckers would wake me up like at 5:30 a.m. like a whole roost of them, like six. I think a flock of 6 of them or whatever would roost on the trees by the cabin that we were staying at in Costa Rica. They scream loud as fuck. They are loud and annoying. It's the ugliest screech.
Well, I knew a girl in high school that had a military macaw, and you couldn't sit on the couch with her because the bird's name was Cayenne, I think. He would get up on the couch and like scroll on over to you, and then just start attacking you. Like it was just a mean bird.
I was just gonna say that the really cool part, like the biggest selling point for me with birds, is how easily you can kill them if they just piss you off. You can like literally just like grab them and fucking twist their fucking head off. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh man, fucking pull a Aussie and just drink its blood. Oh,
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Like, well, you just heed your last haw there, bird. Right?
Yeah.
Whistled your.
Yeah.
You love them, don't you?
I like the bird.
No, John. No, remember John had that bad experience. Fucking, I don't remember fucking when it was, but he told us that story one time. Do you remember?
Right. Yeah, he had a bird smoke. Who'd pet a pigeon? They're fucking gross. Pigeons are they're rats. Yeah. Speaking of which, I think that's why he has a pigeon in that cartoon in Mike Tyson's in Hulu. He has that very vulgar fucking pigeon that he has around.
Yep. Yes, he does. Yes, he fucking does.
My week was great. Yeah. That's about it.
I'm gonna probably not comment on how inebriated I was the last like 72 hours up till right now. So
my fucking mic was muted on the stream.
We'll let the audience decide. Right? I think this is the first podcast I'm not drinking. I'm having water right now, and this is first time for everything, right? So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not feeling drinking this early today.
Yeah, not. I have to drive to Colorado Springs to pick up my girlfriend from the airport. I got to drive to fucking Denver after that to get my kids. Like, today's not the day.
Yeah.
Today is not the day.
It's gonna be driving.
What's that, Carlos?
It's like driving Miss Daisy. Jay's
version.
Pretty
much. Yeah. The cool part is I get to drive her truck. I get to drive her car. It's better than mine. So yeah. She has a Santa Fe. It's like a little SUV thing, but it's like it's one of those rides where it's like super easy to do like 90 miles an hour and not feel it.
I love that.
I have to like pay. I actually have to pay attention to how fast I'm driving because I don't notice it. Next thing I know, I'm doing like fucking 90 fucking miles an hour on I-25. You know, yeah. So,
dude,
have you got the normal?
Go ahead, Carlos.
What's that?
Oh, it was off the cuff comment. I said, isn't that the normal speed?
Yeah, right.
No, Carlos. Some of us actually follow the speed limit. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's not.
Have you guys ever heard the song Santa Fe?
No.
No.
It was in the movie Newsies, and it was sang by Christian Bale.
At which point I guess I have heard that song. I just don't remember it then. I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was a kid when that movie came out.
When I dream on my own, I'm alone, but I ain't lonely.
Holy shit, John!
I love that song, man. I love that.
John,
song.
are you secretly like one of those like you like have like a secret like a double life and like
no
you on the sly you go to like the stage production area, you know, like down the street from your house and like act and sing and dance, you know, like
just Newsies. Newsies. Newsies was one of my favorite movies growing up, and I didn't realize that fucking Batman was in Newsies until years later. Right. So it was pretty cool. And actually, speaking of Batman, obviously no spoilers because it's fucking crazy. But have you guys took any time to watch the Snyder Cut?
Nope.
No, not yet.
No.
Was it? Did they?
What is that on HBO?
Did
it's
he
on
do a good
HBO
job?
Max, right?
It's on HBO Max. I'm
did
not.
He do a good?
I'm
did
not.
They do a good job?
I'm not done with it. I think I'm up to part.
Well, yeah,
I'm up to part 6.
It's like 4 hours fucking long, right?
Yeah, I'm up to part 6 right now. Dude.
So wait, it's not one rolling movie. They cut it into parts.
It's one rolling movie, but you know, in between the movies, it'll be like part 1, whatever the title was. Okay. Not Today, Batman, or whatever.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm up to part 6. It's incredibly long, but it's incredibly fucking detailed. And you know, so far, I what the fuck, Warner Brothers. Bring him back. Back.
We've had this conversation before about how bad, you know, give I usually use Sony as a reference, but like give a company, you know, a diamond and they will hand you back a polished turd. And it's like that's the same shit with Stephen King's Dark Tower movie.
Yeah, and you know what? They got this polished turd, they turned it into fertilizer, and they grew a whole new sunflower with it. And
that's badass, though.
You know, it's so good. It's so different. There's so many like surprises, but it's like watching the movie all over again.
I'm glad you're kind of giving it good reviews because there's a reason I don't watch fucking DC movies. There's a reason I don't read DC comic books. Like I was even as a kid, like everything kind of like. In my head, it was like DC has 2 characters, Superman and Batman.
Yeah,
but the reality is they have good characters, they have good stories, they just don't fucking do it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like that's it. You know.
And they did a really good job. I mean, there were so many little surprises. Like I mean, this was in the trailer, so it's not much of a spoiler. But the Bat Tank, it's you know. Watching the Snyder universe to me is like watching the comic book come to life because this is like the most like accurate. It's intense. There's, you know, you're not gonna. We're looking at like the MCU, but in the DC universe. But the Snyder universe, they gotta at least find a way to at least have him come back as an executive producer or to direct them because this was a story that had to be told, and this is the story that we got, and you know. The first 2 parts alone were way better than the first released movie put together. Like the first 2 parts alone.
That's good.
And we focus on there's more focus on characters. We got fucking Cyborg who is such an essential part of the Justice League. You know, a little surprises, you know, little surprises in there, you know, some
good.
tea,
That's,
you know. So I suggest everyone to take the time.
I see a lot of things trending, you know, in the last few years where they're actually giving people more creative control. They're seeing, I think a lot of the companies are seeing what actually fucking sells versus just trying to fucking start off by, well, how can we make the most money? You know, like it's more like, no, let's give the fans what they fucking want and it'll sell itself. You know, shit like The Mandalorian, you know, like really boosted the Star Wars franchise. which I mean, if we're being honest, the Star Wars franchise has been in a pretty steep decline for a while.
Yeah.
And having a show come out like The Mandalorian, or like what you're describing, John, like a literal 4-hour fucking like movie fuckfest of Justice League, that's real shit, and that's because the fucking fans asked for it, and they're giving the fans what they want, and the company's probably going to make their fucking money now, which if they had just done that in the goddamn first place, they wouldn't have had to re-release it, right? So is what it is.
I really hope that that Mandalorian has like a chapter 2, because
it is.
There's plenty
this
of story to be had.
This was chapter 2. We're going into chapter 3.
What?
It is. There's the third season's coming out. This last season was season 2.
Oh no. I mean, okay. It just seemed like when it ended the last episode, it seemed like they were like, okay, we're good now, and now we're gonna do
it did.
Boba Fett.
It did. The way that it ended was very.
It seemed like a series finale.
Yeah, it kind of did. And honestly, that would have been a good ending.
Yeah.
Right?
There's more to the story, obviously now. I just think it's bringing back, but with the comic book thing, like this is a new journey for me, because when I was a kid in the 90s, there was only 2 comic books I read, and it was Wolverine and X-Men. That was it. I tried to get into Spawn. I tried to get into other. I just couldn't do it. They weren't interesting to me. The only reason, honestly, I was interested in X-Men was because of the Wolverine. I've always loved the Wolverine. Oh, Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider was really cool too. I've always liked motorcycles.
Did you guys ever play X-Men like you played tag as a kid?
Yeah, like we played.
No.
I was always Cyclops. I remember
Cyclops. When the cartoon came out, and freaking that was like a really big deal at the time. Like, and I remember being a kid coming home from school and watching fucking X-Men every day. Like, it was badass.
Dude, me and my cousins used to play X-Men, kind of like you play tag. You choose your character to fucking play, and it was pretty dope. I was always fucking Wolverine too. So.
Next to Batman.
I was so excited when the first movie came out and they had Hugh Jackman, and when I saw how good he played Wolverine, I was like, thank God. It wasn't like Ben Affleck or something like that.
Yeah, he's a natural for it.
And next to Batman, the X-Men were my favorite comic book. I had so many fucking X-Men comics. I could name you a list of all the stories I read and how happy I was that some of these movies kind of dove on them, even though Dark Phoenix was literally a recreation of the... Hey! Oh, okay.
Who let the kids on the set?
You getting socks?
Did you see?
Security.
So I did kind of read a little bit in Spawn for a while because I love the animation. I love the art. It was different.
Todd McFarlane did a great job making that, dude.
There was some like interplay between Batman and Spawn for a while, and Batman hit Spawn in the face with one of his batarangs, and from that point on, Spawn had a big bunch of stitches across his face, and I thought that was awesome. He forever changed the way Spawn looked.
So
that's awesome.
So who would be this? This just came to mind. Who would be your DD214 superhero character if you had to choose? I think we know Jay's.
Well, my favorite is not a superhero.
Oh, that's true.
So if you asked me to pick an actual superhero, that'd be a little bit different, wouldn't it?
We'll say
my guy doesn't have any powers.
Active member of a justice type society organization. We'll throw the boys in there too.
I'm not understanding the question. Y'all answer it.
Let's say the 4 of us had to choose a superhero.
Okay.
And we had to create a team. Who would be that character, not superhero, that character that you would choose?
Wolverine, man.
Flash. Easy.
Why Flash? Just out of curiosity. Why Flash?
Because, so check it out. Flash's power is very versatile with the Force. So his power is speed. Okay, with speed comes invisibility, strength, all kinds of different shit you can do with that. He can phase through objects. He can punch really fucking hard with enough momentum. You know, he can fucking turn back time. Just so much shit he can do. It's like having a bunch of other heroes' powers, and he just has the one. You know what I mean? But you can use it in so many different ways. The applications of it are fucking endless. So I've always liked Flash. Flash is fucking dope. I think he's like top notch.
What about you, John?
Rated.
I would go with Cyclops. Natural born leader. Rip his fucking eyes off, you're dead. You got to keep his eyes open. You're fucked. You know, that would be my guy. He's you know, the movies don't give him any fucking justice, but in the comic books and the cartoons, he was a great fighter. He was smart.
Yeah. He's a leader.
You know, he had a fucked up childhood, and his brother is probably one of the best X-Men in the world having too. So, bam.
I would, if we're talking about characters that have actual powers, I would probably always go with Deadpool, because you just can't fucking kill him like that. Like you can, it's just. And he's fucked up in the head, dude. I like that.
Really funny.
Yeah, I enjoy how fucked up in the head he is. Like it you know.
Now I have a question for you, Velos. Who's your favorite Flash?
Fucking shit. Why am I blanking on his name right now?
The one from the movies or the one from the cartoon?
Or are you talking about? Okay, I thought you meant like between Yellow Flash and Reverse Flash and Future Flash, because there's so many fucking different Flashes, kind of like Spider-Man. No, but my Allen, something else. What the fuck is his name?
Barry Allen.
Yeah, Barry Allen is my favorite fucking Flash.
I like.
He's not the original Flash, but
Jay Garrick is the original one, and then it was Barry, and then it was Wally West. Wally's my favorite. Yeah. I like good old Wallace.
Wally's pretty dope. Yeah, Wallace is pretty dope. But
that's who Ryan Reynolds should be instead of the Green Lantern. He should have been the Wally West Flash.
You think so?
You think so?
I think so.
I don't think so. I think Wally West's character is not that bold. He's more green and like careless. Yeah. I guess you could say.
No, he absolutely is.
Yeah. Rather, I don't know. Ryan Reynolds, like they fucked up casting him as a Green Lantern back in the day.
They really fucked up casting him as whatever the fuck he was in that stupid X-Men fucking movie. They really fucked that up.
He was Deadpool. He was Deadpool.
I'm tracking, but that was not Deadpool. Like, that's exactly why I said it. That was not fucking Deadpool.
That was Mutant Abomination.
They literally the dude's nickname is the Merc with a Mouth. And they literally covered his fucking mouth in the goddamn movie. Like, how fucking retarded are you? Goddamn it, I shouldn't say that. How stupid are you? Right?
Like
how fucking stupid are you? Like, by the way, guess what company released that movie? Fucking Sony. Surprise! Like,
right? Oh, another thing to shit on for Sony.
That was all them, dude.
That's how you know. That's how you know that the writers and producers, directors, everybody on that fucking team didn't know shit about Deadpool when they met, other than he had swords and and that he was pretty badass, but they didn't understand to what level.
That pisses me off so much. That's like the head writer of WandaVision didn't even know who Mephisto was until people were just like, "Oh, Mephisto's coming to WandaVision," and like Mephisto never came. And the writer was like, I don't even know who that is. Like,
how do you make these fucking shows? How do you make these movies and not fucking know your goddamn the subject matter?
Absolutely.
That you're literally making a film or a TV series or whatever of, right? Like, how do you not fucking know, right?
So
what do you got, Carlos?
The way I see it is like, okay, so let's say you didn't grow up with that, but your talents made you a perfect candidate for a specific movie or a fucking show or whatever. Wouldn't you research that shit? Wouldn't you get on Google at least fucking 20 hours a fucking week just to research what you're making and how to make it?
You would think. Because, we're talking about, like, a lot of dollars and cents are on the line, right? And you're probably working for a company that is asking for their money back when they put the money up to produce and film and everything else, right? You would think, Carlos, you would think.
I have something for that. So Deathstroke, I'm not sure if you guys knew about this. Deathstroke has an icon on one of his swords. And the artist that made that icon and thought, oh, this looks badass. It's from the Halo. It's a Halo icon. It's the little like I don't know, like half circle daggers. And I guess what the artist did or whatever, he looked up Deadpool signs or whatnot, and this was something that a fan had made based off of one of the Halo icons. So he took a Halo icon and he kind of messed with it a little bit.
That's awesome.
But not enough. The thing is, it's so that comes from the game Halo, and they went ahead and put it on one of the freaking characters, on Deathstroke's sword for, one of the movies and whatnot. I mean, dude, you can't. You got to research this shit. Like, you get stuff off the internet just because, oh, this is what's trending or this is what people are putting on. Oh, that must be it. Like, do your own fucking research, man. It's not that hard. That to me is just like lazy production.
Yeah, it really is. It's honestly terrifying how much money like actually gets thrown on the table to do this stuff and how bad they still fuck it up. It's like if somebody told me I was responsible for the end result of something that cost like upwards of like $20 to $30 million to do, I would probably be pretty strict and stringent on, being a good steward of that money and not just doing whatever the fuck I wanted, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm fucked up. Maybe that's just how they fucking do it in Hollywood. I don't know. But we've seen so many times how bad they just absolutely ass rape some of our favorite characters, some of the best like iconic creations from comic book, from film, from whatever, different cinema universes. We've seen so many times how bad they fucked that shit up. And it's like, what were you thinking? Like a goddamn 5-year-old could have told you that was going to fail. I could see it a mile away. It's like when they came out with the Dark Tower, I'm a huge Dark Tower fan, because of, Stephen King. There's 7 books of that, in that series. The movie was 95 minutes long. Like, I mean, that's just like, just starting right there tells you all you need to know. And I'm not even going to get into the casting and all the other stuff that it was like when they announced it, I knew it was going to fail. I was not wrong. Like, I knew that shit was going to faceplant so hard because it was so obvious. They didn't read the books, so whatever.
That goes to say, I really hope that the creators of the Resident Evil movie, which is now have a title called Welcome to Raccoon City. I hope that that the writers and the producers, they took the time, which it does sound like, because they're saying, the director says that he's following the OG games, the first 2 ones, and if we're all about the same age, and I'm pretty sure we've all played the first 2, because that's probably I think I played all the way up until Code Veronica.
Yeah.
And
so I hate being the odd man out. I tried a couple times on my original PlayStation to get into it. I never could really get into it. I'll tell you what I do like about Resident Evil though is the lore. So it's one of those things where I never got into the actual video game, but I love the lore. I love the story.
I love the story
about it. Yeah. I really do. I've always enjoyed the story. Yep.
And I always loved it too. The only thing that really messed me up on it were the movies. Hey, the movies were blockbusters. They created a whole wild franchise, and it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't the Resident Evil that a lot of us are used to. It
was a different variation of it. It's a good variation of it, but it for sure definitely not in somewhat along the lines with what the original lore and story was, but not completely. I've only played the first 2 and the first one was my favorite. Like that was really fucking dope. And I remember it. Jeez, man, it's been so long. Yeah, I played it on the original PlayStation as well. It was pretty dope.
The games were so good that they came out with director's cuts. Like they re-released the game. Like
Right.
the
Right.
and it was such like because if you think about we had Crash Bandicoot, we had a few Batman games. Call of Duty was just starting out.
Well, Silent Hill. Don't
Silent
forget
Hill,
Silent Hill.
Silent
Like
Hill,
that.
Yeah.
When that
then,
game came out, that game was a game changer. That one like changed the game
and the
for
movie
fucking
was
horror.
great.
The movie was great. They did that. That's one of the first video game movies that I've seen where they didn't really completely fuck it up. Like it was actually really fucking
They
dope,
did a really
and it
good
went
job.
along the lines.
Dude, Pyramid
with the
Head's
game.
no joke. Pyramid
Oh,
Head's no joke.
right?
Dude. That dude doesn't fuck around.
Have you seen the cosplays for it, man? Like some of these,
Yes,
these
they
fans,
look
man,
fucking
they come up.
creepy as fuck.
A lot
They
of
look
them are
Yeah.
using, a lot of them are using like foam and like cardboard to make these things too. It's they come a long way with this shit, man. But Silent Hill was definitely a game changer for me, especially watching it the first time because I was just like, damn, they really did a good job with this, and it kind of
Yeah.
reminded me, hey, this is what Resident Evil should have done, but maybe we had to wait 20-25 years for the right version of this to come out.
Right.
It's based on the roots and actual origins. It's gonna be good. I feel like it's gonna be good. I think that with the popularity that Mortal Kombat's getting right now, and that how a lot of and with Sonic too, how a lot of these video game movies they're catering to the fans because they know the gamer fan base.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I was literally just gonna say, yeah, they did a good job with Sonic because I finally saw that with my kids. I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago, but I can tell Mortal Kombat's gonna be fucking amazing.
And then let's get green a little bit. Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph.
That was a good movie.
Both of them.
Huh.
I enjoy the both of them. They were both really good movies, and it dives into that, that video game core. So that's pretty cool with Resident Evil. We actually have breaking news too. Last of Us, the TV show, which has Pedro. Is it Pablo or Pedro?
I think it's Pedro.
Mr. Pasquale.
Talking about the dude that plays Mandalorian.
Yeah. So what's the breaking news right now is that they're saying that the show will be based on the origins of the characters, but there's going to be a lot of things that they're putting into the show to add into, I guess, like the lore and the film. That
might not be a bad thing.
Yeah,
I Last of Us. I never played it, but I actually watched one of my best friends in the army play it, like pretty much all the way through. And there's a good little world in that game. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot you could probably still work with, as far as like the world that the characters inhabit. Basically, that might not be a bad thing.
Yeah, and I agree with you too because I think okay, like we play a lot of Call of Duty. I don't want to see the Modern Warfare campaign turned into a movie. I want to see some different things in there. I want to see you change a couple things up. It's the same thing. If I played the whole campaign of Last of Us or Uncharted, I don't want to. I already saw the movie. So what am I going to do? Pay $30 on demand now to watch something that I played already? So I think it's cool that they're adding. They're changing little things up, but that they're keeping the core characters the same. I think that's very important, and again, catering to the gamer fan base seems to be more successful than book adaptations, comic book adaptations, remakes and reboots. Very interesting, very very interesting.
And when it comes to movies and games that are made into shows and whatnot, what I really like is when you can take a video game franchise, like it has the long-standing history and different fucking parts to it, and you can like go off the campaign. Let's say the ending of the campaign, and then make a movie about what happens next. You know what I mean? Or like a side story or whatnot based off of what the events that happen in the game, or vice versa. You make the next part of the game, a sequel to what happened in the movie. When you go back and forth like that, except for the exception would be games like Silent Hill, where we didn't get a whole much of the story. I guess you could say like cutscenes or whatnot, and so you have a movie that kind of helps you visualize what the whole background of the campaign or the game would have been.
Yep.
So games like that, that makes it really awesome to watch, and I think it makes it more immersive, or makes you want to play the game even more, or get the sequel to it, or get some copy of the game where it's either a prequel or a sequel to a movie, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Because I think that's pretty badass. Like what they're doing with the Halo franchise. I know they came out with a couple of movies, but they were side movies of the characters that are in the game as well. How these soldiers, how the UNSC makes their soldiers, and more story with the Covenant and their battles with it. For those of you familiar with the game, shit like that would be cool. So seeing some of those, like in Call of Duty recently with the characters, how some of the missions end up being the story of where the character came from, or how they know each other, right? They were part of the same platoon, or they got picked up in somehow. Like seeing a movie based off of those characters to show a little bit more of their background and their upbringing, how they got to that point, would be pretty badass. Like that would be a series of movies, kind of like the Marvel series, like they're doing with the different characters. Like that would be pretty awesome.
I'll tell you what my inner nerd says, and I wish and hope against hope that someday maybe they can make it happen, either TV series or series of movies, because they already do somewhat sometimes a decent job on the video games, but the fucking Warhammer 40K universe is so goddamn full of good stories. The background, all the setting. You can do space. You can do it on a planet. Ultra violent. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different characters, and it's all already there. You can make it horror. You can make it action. Yep. You can make it a fucking mystery. Like it's all all the elements are already there. It's one of those like.
I have something to show you later, Jay. I'll send you a link later for something cool. I got something cool to show you.
Hey Jay, I got something to show you too.
Hey bro. you know what I do with the homies at night. So. I swallow
them. Hey, slide it into my DMs later, okay? I got you.
Got you, homie.
Got you. And that's pretty cool. So what other video game adaptations would you like to see that are not in production right now?
Are you asking us or the audience?
I'm asking you guys. Shit, if the audience wants to chime in too, they could throw in too.
I mean, I'm probably gonna stick with Warhammer, like because that universe is just so big. Like that's like
I've never played it. I've never played it, but I know the lore about it.
It's a table. It started as a table game, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. They got the little figurines that people paint or whatever, and then they started writing fucking books. And there's like a bajillion books. They call it the Black Library, but it's literally like there's like hundreds of books about this universe. It has its own wiki. So if you go on, you just look up Warhammer 40K wiki, you can literally just read about it. You don't need to read the books, just because like I've only read one of the books, and that one book got me into it. And tried to read a couple other books. I never got into any other books, but the one book that I read got me enough into it that I started looking up the lore and like the universe. Artie, shut the fuck up.
I think your bird has an opinion on that as well.
Yeah.
About fucking how easy it is to kill a bird. Like Nikki's gonna come home to a dead fucking bird here in a second.
She's gonna feed her some bird soup. Oh, what is this?
She's gonna come home to a roasted chicken.
Was that Dumb and Dumber with the blind kid? He's like, I just thought he was quiet.
She's gonna come home and she's gonna see like dinner made, and there's like something that's supposed to be duck on the table.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
This big, probably, a little carcass there.
Well, you
Nikki,
can do like a snack tray. Lots of
PETA's
gourmet crackers.
PETA's gonna come after us for this. We're gonna get canceled, guys.
What was that, Sean? I missed. Hold on. What did you say?
So you can do a snack. You can do a snack tray with gourmet crackers and some choice meats, with the bird mixed in, some cheeses.
Yeah, there you go.
Some parakeet pepperoni.
I fucking I love watching PETA get roasted on the like the Instagram and fucking Twitter or whatever, like they'll come out and say something and they just immediately start getting fucking roasted. Like everybody fucking hates those cocksuckers now because they're fucking cocksuckers. And like it's like, yeah, like it's so fun to watch.
Everyone hates them.
It's such a karmic justice boner watching those assholes get fucking demolished in the goddamn Twitterverse.
You know, when they get so into their justified righteous crusade of
they're so fucking far off their own ass.
Start getting into their own, like, okay, yeah, I love animals too. You know, I'm all about preserving animals and shit like that, but not to the extent of like PETA, where you get like it's a fucking cult, bro. It's a fucking cult.
It really is.
You know,
and if you don't think how they think, then you're not good enough, right?
Yeah. So you're subhuman. You're not even a lot like a bunch. You're not even worthy of breathing the same air.
Yeah, it sounds like progressives. So here's something, I don't know if you guys knew this, but like about 20 years ago, PETA used to do this thing every year where they would find like one of their hottest chicks that was part of their organization, and she would have a script where she was reading about all the PETA talking points while she's stripping. Mm-hmm. And she would get completely nude. And I thought it was hilarious because they really think people are tuning in to like have their minds opened about like
I just want to see tits.
Didn't you have like two really hot lesbians like in the middle of some city, like out in a bed or something? And
they
come up with some like very
just go ahead and read me some Shakespeare as long as I can see your muff, dude. I don't fuck. You know what I mean? Like
it's so weird what gets views too, because like, you know, something crazy like that, you know, like you said, they're not there for the PETA, you know, and
like, you're there for the PETA, just not the one you
just not that one.
You know, and then like I remember when Macaulay Culkin came back and emerged into the world again, like he made videos of him just eating pizza for like 3 hours straight. It was just videos of him eating pizza.
Is that when he was like high on crack or some shit, right?
I think so. I don't know.
Stop. He was never. Don't. No. Let's not do that. He was never on crack.
I don't know that much about him. I know that he likes.
He definitely likes smoking the reefer.
I know that he likes pizza, and that he plays in a Velvet Underground cover band called the Pizza Underground or something like that. And that, but yeah, he came out with videos of him eating pizza. They got millions of views in hours. What the fuck?
Well, I mean, there's symbolism involved in this. If you go into that whole, you know, go down that rabbit hole, there's probably a reason he's videoing himself eating pizza. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
What's that Michael Scott gif?
Hey, so
exactly.
one of the things that you know, I wanted to bring up was a headset for that Xbox came out with that's pretty dope. And this thing, what I'm really sad about is I had a chance to pre-order it like 2 weeks ago, and then I'm like looking through my Google News feed, and I'm seeing some reviews on it, and it's popping up more. And I'm like, oh yeah, when was that supposed to come out? And I'm looking, it's completely sold out everywhere. And it's only $100. And it's a really badass headset. Like, especially if you play Xbox and you're an audiophile, for $100, like this is a really good fucking headset. Because on the Xbox accessories app, you got like your equalizer. You can tune it down exactly to what you want it to sound like. And another cool feature that I've seen on one of these reviews is your microphone has an auto mute option to when you're not talking, there's no sound coming through it's not picking up any sound at all if you're not directly talking into your mic. So it auto mutes. And then of course, so you don't have to stow it away. You don't have to push a button to mute it. You just stop talking, you know.
It's called a noise gate. We have those in the world of guitar. So like if you have a noise gate effect built into your rig, like, so when I'm playing guitar, if I've got a lot of effects and distortion and stuff, and I let go of my guitar, the strings will ordinarily ring out and get feedback and like all these weird, you know,
from vibration. Right?
Well, the noise gate recognizes you're not playing and it cuts the sound.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
So, all right, Sean, I mean, in your experience with sound and all that, how, as a gamer, how do you see that being able, being implied into a headset, and that only costs $100 to begin with.
Well, it depends on
the value in that.
Depends on how good the noise gate is. I mean, because I've used some before where there's like a slight delay in when it brings the sound back in, so you miss that first little millisecond of whatever. And if things haven't progressed that well, and it's not the greatest sound cut, I think it could be a bad thing. You get a lot of people aggravated because they're going to come in like halfway through their first word, and you're
right.
That's what your team's going to hear. So hopefully it's good. If so, I think that's amazing, because then you won't hear background noises like TVs and kids and dogs and cats and things like that, birds.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
delicious.
Don't worry,
birds.
Don't worry. There's not going to be a bird here. Pretty quick.
It's responding. It's responding to you, Sean.
Dude, your fucking bird heard that. He's like, man, fuck you.
I'm not going to end up on a cracker.
The really crazy part is he's actually really fucking smart. Like you can tell like the bird has intelligence. Like it's kind of scary actually.
I'm pretty sure as soon as you say the bird kind of picks up on what you're saying. Like, are you talking about me, bitch?
Artie, go fuck yourself. Artie, you're little shit. Fuck you.
One of my main things, Sean, with headsets, especially gaming headsets, is microphone. The ability to have a good microphone that doesn't pick up every little fucking sound in the background, because that shit gets annoying. Like, especially when somebody has a smoke detector alarm that fucking battery needs to replace. That's the most annoying fucking thing to me. And being able to have a good mic that doesn't pick up the sound as it's coming out of your headset too, like creating a echo, is really awesome. So I hope it has a really good microphone, and it sounds like it does. Another cool thing about it, it's both Bluetooth and it's a quick connect to the Xbox. So you can sync it to your Xbox just like you do any Xbox controller with the push of a button. There's no dongle. On top of that, you can Bluetooth it to your phone or any other Bluetooth mobile device. And you can actually have both of them paired simultaneously. So you can have your phone paired while you have your Xbox paired and listen to both.
So you mean to tell me that, like, okay, so let's say we're playing a crossplay game and chat isn't working. I can connect it to my phone and go on Discord with my friends.
Oh yeah. Yes. That is a perfect example for the way the applications of this. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
The reviewer that I saw talked about using it as playing your music, but I'm like, dude, I have fucking Spotify on Xbox. I can just play in the background. I don't need my phone for that. But Discord is a really good example for like an actual like real gamers who like to crossplay, and for some reason they don't have that game chat or party chat that you can go into because you're on different systems. So dude, for $100, like $99.99, not even $100, it's a penny less. It's a really good fucking quality headset. Like the features you're getting for the price that you're paying, I think.
I think that they could have really avoided that whole echo thing, because we've all heard that. Sometimes you gotta like that person that we figure, oh, it's you've got the echo, and they'll be like, all right, let me log out, log back in, or whatever. Like if they would make that microphone like unidirectional at like a 45-degree angle toward the mouth, rather than like this multi-directional thing that's like picking up stuff from all. I mean, simple stuff like that. There's different kinds of microphones. You can make it just a point mic, unidirectional. But they make that stuff come all the way out here, and you got to curve it back around your face. But you don't need that stuff, man. How many times have you seen the little Bluetooth pieces, the little microphone right there that you hear just fine?
Funny you say that, because that Xbox headset has the microphone, like it comes up to like right here on your cheek. It doesn't come all the way to the front, and then you can just like bend it forward, and it stows away into the ear cup. So
I got this
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's not like this. It's not like this where I could literally put.
Right.
It's a straw.
This is one that you recommended that I get. She's got the cutesy little kitty cat version that lights up and stuff, but it's noise canceling, and this retracts out of the earpiece.
That's cool.
Is that what? Oh, is that Lucid? Is that a Lucid brand? I think.
No, this is Razer.
Rager. Okay.
Razor.
Oh, Razor.
R-A-Z-E-R.
Oh, it's it is. It's the same.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Let's see that logo.
It is
Let's see that
Razer.
logo.
This retracts as close or as far as you want to put it, and you don't, when you're talking, you don't hear yourself really loudly in your earpiece, which I like that too.
Oh, that's pretty
Razors are really good products. I have to say.
I really haven't used it to its full potential. It comes with like this middle connector that connects into some different stuff that you can really dial in the surround sound and all that. I just plug it into my controller. But
I gotta say, I'm disappointed with. I got a work mouse from Razer. Where the fuck is it at?
Yeah.
The Ballast. It's a good mouse. I just use it for work. I don't use it really for gaming or anything. And it died. It died 2 days ago. I was like in the middle of work trying to click something and my mouse wouldn't fucking respond. And I got new batteries in it and everything. It just doesn't fucking work anymore. So I'm in the process of getting one. But I like Razer. Razer's pretty dope.
Yeah, I've had these Kraken. I probably get 3 or 4 headsets a year. I've had these Razer Krakens for about a year and a half now, and I fucking love them. I love them. They're comfortable. They sound great. Plus, they come with 7.1 surround sound system that you can put into your PC. So when you're playing games, you get, the ultimate experience. Headphones are. I don't know. I'm a headphone slut. I got a pair of Bluetooths right. I got a pair of Bluetooths right here.
Is that the only way you're a slut, John?
I got these Bluetooths right here. I got these bad boys. I got like 3 more pairs.
He said, "Fuck your question." He said, "No comment."
No comment.
Just gonna cruise right past
Careful,
that.
he'll bust out with that dildo again.
Yo, that's right. Oh, that's right.
Why are you bringing up old shit?
He looks behind. He's like, "Is it by the bed? Did you see it?"
I don't know where it is.
It's probably in one of those drawers back there.
No,
Easy access.
No, you know how it is in your 30s. When you have drawers, you don't put clothes in them. It's just paperwork and junk.
Yeah, and sex toys.
That's true. That's true.
There might be a fucking pistol laying around somewhere. Like
Yeah.
I got all kinds of fucking.
Maybe you
weird
might find an
shit.
old cigarette butt from 1966 in there too, but it's still good.
Right.
It's still
But it's
good.
still-
I go by the 30-year rule, not the when people drop the candy on the phone, they're just like, oh yeah, 10-second rule. No, I go by the 5-year rule, baby. Just a little dirt don't hurt.
Just
That's fucking hilarious.
on
Like,
it.
yeah.
No.
Good for your
Stale
immune.
tobacco. Yeah.
Hey, tobacco's wacky tobacco doesn't give you slacky. It might. All right, what else we got? Hey, I
On
think
that note,
I think I may have. Did I just fucking see Metal Gear Solid in here? All right. Well, we got the 2021 Video Game Hall of Fame. Something we didn't even know even fucking existed when we were talking about earlier.
And then we had to go look it up, and it exists. Apparently it's been around since 2015. Holy shit!
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier, and it's like, what the hell?
So I mean, I guess we'll break it down. I guess so. Like in 2015, I'm trying to. Okay, so the video game Hall of Fame says here on Wikipedia that it is an international Hall of Fame that opened in 2015. It's located in the National Museum of Play exhibit. We're gonna look. Oh, it's in Rochester, New York, guys. I think we have a trip to take.
Oh shit! That's not too far away from you, right?
No, National Museum of Play. Okay, so the Hall of Fame creator is John Paul C. Dyson, who is the Strong's Vice President for Exhibit Research and Development. It becomes eligible for World Video Game Hall of Fame by meeting these 4 base criterias. Jesus Christ! I went to the army. I didn't go to college, guys. Remember. The first criteria is icon status. Is it widely recognized and is it remembered? Does it have a cult following? Longevity is more than a passing fad and has enjoyed popularity over time. Geographical reach. It meets the above criteria across international boundaries. Influence. Has exerted significant influence on the design and development onto other games, on other forms of entertainment, or in popular culture.
Okay.
So far, the Hall of Fame games that are in right now are Doom, Pac-Man, Pong, Super Mario Brothers, Tetris, World of Warcraft, The Legend of Zelda, The Oregon Trail, The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, Space Invaders, GTA
Oh,
3, which I just think Grand Theft Auto as a series should be in there. Pokemon Red and Blue, Street Fighter 2, Tomb Raider, Donkey Kong, Halo, John Madden Football, Tomb Raider, Final Fantasy 7, Space War.
Skyrim had better be on that list.
It's not. It's not, unfortunately.
Microsoft Solitaire, 1992's Mortal Kombat, Solitaire.
Yeah. Solitaire. Wow. I mean,
How did
are
that,
they
how
gonna
did
put
that
fucking
change the way
Minecraft
games
or
were played?
Minesweep?
Yeah, Colossal
well,
Cave Adventure, Super
that's what we
Mario
were.
Kart.
We were bitching to each other earlier about this. Like some of the games that are on the list where it's like, why is this on here? And something,
Yeah.
Pick your game that's not on the list and be like, why is that not on there?
Yeah, so last year's inductees were Minecraft, not surprising, King's Quest, Centipede, and Bejeweled.
Yeah,
I could understand Centipede, Minecraft. I don't even know what the fuck King's Quest is, and Bejeweled. But there were other games last year that, like 007, GoldenEye was nominated last year. Frogger, and Where in the World is Carmen San Diego. This year, we have FIFA International Soccer, Portal, Call of Duty, Guitar Hero, Where in the World is Carmen San Diego, Animal Crossing, Farmville, 1982's Microsoft Flight Simulator, 1982's Pole Position, StarCraft, and Tron.
there you go.
Pole position was awesome. Man.
The 80s arcade game, right?
Yeah.
Remember that shit, Son?
Loved it, man.
So they're saying it's usually anywhere between 3 to 5 games that make it. I'm definitely going with. I mean, I'm not going to say Call of Duty because that just seems like a surefire win. I don't know about Portal. I don't know as far as influence goes. That game really has a lot of influence, but
Oh yeah.
Guitar Hero and Carmen San Diego are definitely getting in there.
If they don't, they should have been, right? Like,
I mean, I can see Guitar Hero getting into it. I could totally see Portal getting into it because Portal is a really badass game.
It's a great
never
game.
Played it.
Yeah, Portal was a fun game. Go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry.
Correct me if I'm wrong, as I probably am. But wasn't Skyrim the first legit open world?
It was up there. It wasn't. I don't want to say it was the first, but it was up there. It was probably the first one that did it all right.
Of its kind.
They started PC
they
game.
did it all right. You know what I mean? Like, because if you go back to the '90s when you remember Myst, that was open world. But there were no other characters though. It was just you were the only character in the game, and you kind of followed a mystery, I guess a puzzle solving game. Yeah. But that was open world. But there were no other characters though. So what you're describing, it was probably the first one that, like I said, did it.
Really good. Because before that, we didn't really have a lot of open world games other than Fallout and Grand Theft
GTA.
Auto.
I was gonna say GTA.
But they don't even hold a candle next to the sheer size that Skyrim has. It's absolutely it's a good list. It's a good list this year. It's a good list, but I have to agree with Veloz. I don't know. I don't think Portal's gonna make it. I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like it's gonna make it, even though Portal is such a good game, especially Portal 2. If you never played that one, was actually multiplayer, not multiplayer, but co-op based, and you have the main campaign you have to do with a second person, and I actually witnessed years ago a buddy of mine and actually a DD214 member and airman Mark Gonzalez, who's also He runs Gonzo Gone Gaming. He's a shout out for you. I physically watched him and a friend of mine, Josh, complete this game from top to bottom.
Awesome.
And
it's not an easy.
India.
And you get super motion sickness too if you don't have enough Dramamine, are you?
So what I like about Portal is just the physics, the implications in the physics of the game is really badass and how you're using that.
You said Portal. Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing.
I've never played it.
Fuck that shit.
If that's what it sounds like, that needs to be Frogger, not
no.
Animal Crossing.
No, it's not. It's like, did you guys ever play Farmville on Facebook?
Nope.
That's what it reminds me.
It's funny too because Farmville. It's funny because Farmville is right under Animal Crossing as a nomination too.
Hey, when I was obese and jacked up on pills all day, I played Farmville way too much. Yeah. Way too much.
What else?
Like my life, like if I got off of the computer and I went to go do shit, I knew when I had to be back so that I can harvest my shit so I can get more stuff planted. It was that.
Right?
It was like that.
That's great. Yeah. That is great.
So I think Animal Crossing is very reminiscent of that. Of course, it's its own game, but if we're talking about Nintendo games that need to be on Hall of Fame, but besides Mario, obviously, fucking Zelda, like
Zelda
was amazing.
Hall of Fame for sure.
Like we all just agreed, pole position. That was an OG game. I remember playing.
How about this? How about, in my opinion, maybe Halo wouldn't be Halo without Metroid.
Oh, Metroid.
That'd be interesting.
No. I see what you're saying there, Sean.
Maybe the trajectory from that amazing game would never have. That's a game that really
is definitely underrated in the Nintendo world. I feel.
I love Metroid.
Oh, Metroid. Yeah, Metroid's badass.
There was a couple of games that I couldn't stop playing. Mario was just like, if I was bored and didn't have anything to do, I'd play Mario and save the princess in like 10 minutes or whatever. I knew all the warps and would just zoom right through the whole game. And anyway, but Metroid, Castlevania.
Holy shit.
Oh, dude, that's on Xbox Game Pass now, too.
Battletoads. I've played a lot of Battletoads.
Battletoads is badass. I remember that game.
Yeah. And Double Dragon. I've played
Double Dragon is fucking dope.
Christ.
So speaking of those games, like arcade-based games, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a good one. The X-Men arcade game was fucking dope.
The X-Men arcade game was the
big ass arcade game where you could play with like 4 people. That one was fucking dope.
Or let's get real crazy now. Tiger Direct handheld X-Men game that came out. You guys are familiar? You guys not familiar?
I never had that.
Yeah. The little black and white LCD screen with
it had like little fucking, like, it was probably like this big. We actually sell them at Target, which is fucking crazy.
They still have those? They still have those?
Yeah. They're making a comeback. A lot of older toys are coming back, like my store sells Pogs.
What?
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
We sell Pogs. Yeah, Pogs.
Fucking gamble, dude.
I actually have a book of Pogs here.
That is so surprising, John. I would never have thought that.
Yeah.
I
love my old shit.
I was about to say something good too. So when Game Boy came out, immediately following that, I want to say it was Sega came out with a really good colored screen handheld. It was like this wide. It wasn't Game Gear. It was something different, man. I always wanted it. Could never get it. Only the cool kids had them. No, it was a Sega. Was it Sega?
I got you right now.
You're just getting old, Sean.
Maybe it was Sega. I don't remember, but it was the first really good handheld, and it was panoramic. You held it panoramic. You didn't hold it upright like a Game Boy, and it had the thumbsticks, or at least one.
I think it had one. I think you're talking about the Game Boy Advance.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Nintendo.
I really think he's talking about the Game Gear. I really think you're talking about the Game Gear.
Sean, you should probably Google that.
Or the Master Turbo Express.
It's gonna bother you for the rest of the day if you don't.
Was it the Turbo Express?
No, it wasn't that either. I'll remember it when I hear
it. Getting old sucks.
What's really interesting since we're in this conversation, because like you go to a lot of these retail stores now, you know, and okay, so what was it? The PlayStation Classic, PS1 Classic came out a couple years ago.
No, the Game Gear doesn't have a stick on it, but it was one of the first ones out there with like the advanced.
That's
as well.
It was the Lynx.
Lynx. There you go.
Jesus.
Wait, wasn't that shit like 32-bit, or was it 16?
It was about the same as yeah. It was better than Nintendo. So I think it was 32-bit. Yeah. I
was gonna say it was like there was only a couple of systems that ever went to 32-bit because they kind of jumped like from like 16 all the way to 64 real quick.
There it is.
You know what I mean?
Lynx.
Oh wow.
That is nice.
The Atari Lynx. Jesus.
You know, it's so cool seeing like a lot of these older companies come back too, because you know Atari either they're about to come out with a newer console or they came out with one. It's so cool.
Yeah, you know, I heard about that. It just kind of died off the radar for.
And you know, a lot of these old games, you know, a lot of people don't like to play them because all the graphics suck or it's just too simple. But these are games that we grew up on that we truly fucking enjoyed. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I played the fucking shit out of it because we you know when we were done in class, we were done with our work. They let us play Carmen Sandiego because it was an educational game.
That's right.
And
you know, like extra stuff.
You know, I had it at home. Shit, they have it on Steam. I just may fucking buy it on Steam soon because I love that game so much and it's bringing mad nostalgic feelings. And on top of that, I watched every single episode when I was a kid. Even went to see the band, the a cappella group, who sings the Carmen Sandiego song.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, we saw. My mom took me to go see the group at Park Theater in Union City, which coincidentally George Carlin did one of his most famous shows there.
I love George.
Badass.
God rest his soul.
God rest his
soul.
So
that Atari console that's coming back out is the Atari VCS.
Yes.
And it's AMD Chrome powered console, and it was supposed to the pre-order started in March, and it was supposed to launch 2020. But it got pushed to December, and then on the website right now, it's still on pre-order. It's $400, $399.99, and it comes with the classic Atari wireless joystick and a
wireless. That's fucking
gamepad.
Cool.
Yeah, they're Bluetooth. I think the controllers are Bluetooth enabled, but you can stream, you can play games. It has a PC mode. You can install your own OS. And use the VCS as a mini PC for all your favorite PC libraries and app. So that's pretty crazy.
Right. So check this out. I pulled up the info on its Lynx. I hate to go back. We backtrack like this, but
that's okay.
It's interesting. So it came out in '89. Okay, listen to what it says here. It says, the Lynx was a handheld game console released by Atari in '89. The Lynx holds the distinction of being the world's first handheld electronic game with a color LCD display. The system is also notable for its forward-looking features, advanced graphics, and ambidextrous layout. The Lynx was released in '89, the same year as Nintendo's monochromatic Game Boy. However, the Lynx failed to achieve critical mass required because of a bunch of stuff, and they abandoned the thing. What's of note is that was in '89. It had a color display. You know when Game Boy came out with a color display? Let's see.
That was the Game Boy Color.
1998. Almost 10 years after the Lynx.
Wow.
That's how far ahead this little handheld thing was. And there were some cool games on there. But like I said, they just kind of they couldn't crack into the mainstream, and Atari was just like, meh. Pull the plug.
It's so crazy how Atari, who has such a huge history doesn't seem to be like in the conversation as much anymore. They're talked about, but they're not. Now the conversation is PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and every now and then you hear Switch.
I wonder if they just lack the financial capital, to put something behind a great console. I wonder if that's the problem.
Probably.
That
or
is
it's just
a good
probably one of those
question.
things where it was just too ahead of its time, and people just weren't grasping it. Just like with a lot of things that are emerging now that we're getting into that had come out years prior, and people just weren't grasping it because it was just too ahead of its time at the moment.
You know what was ahead of its time? That it was the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
It didn't sell.
And now you see it. Yeah. Now you see it
everywhere, and it sucked. It wasn't that good. I remember one of my cousins had one, and you had this like Star Wars like fucking pilot helmet that you would have to put on, and there was a screen inside of it, but it was red. Everything was red.
Yeah, so I remember gave everybody fucking headaches or some shit.
Yeah.
No, wasn't that just like a little like a stand? You put it on the table, you look into it, and you got your controller, and that's like your little virtual reality fucking thing that you're looking into, like this.
I don't remember.
Fucking playing around.
I don't remember.
And it was red.
What is that?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what it is. Hold on. It's on this site right here. It is
remembering two different alternate realities.
It was called
it has a stand.
Virtual Boy.
Yeah, the Virtual Boy.
Yeah. Nintendo's Virtual Boy was the first portable game console capable of displaying true 3D graphics. Most video games are forced to use monocular cues to achieve the illusion of three-dimensional on a two-dimensional screen, but the Virtual Boy was able to create a more accurate illusion of depth through an effect known as parallax.
I want to see what that 3D looked like. What that version of 3D.
Go on Google.
Yeah, you can see it.
I'm looking at it right now.
You can see it on
This was the console. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah.
Bad memories. That was probably the start of my motion sickness right there.
Flop. That was a huge.
Oh yeah.
Playing that shit.
Oh man. So yeah, and then but yeah, that's really. I actually think that the Hall of Fame is actually a little more exciting than, what was it, the Video Game Awards?
Yeah. Next time we do that, I liked what we did. I liked how we just kind of shit talked it the whole time. That was fun.
What's something to understand about things like these lists and these Hall of Fames. I remember growing up as a young guitar player, like it pains me to say it, before the internet. It was magazines, right? It was always guitar magazines. You had Guitar World, you had Guitar Player. If you were more of like an academic player than like I want to be a rock star, that was Guitar World. Yeah. If you wanted to just like be cool. But the Rolling Stone would come out with the top guitar players of all time, 100 greatest guitar players of all time. And there was always people left off. The greatest bands of all time, always bands that you're just like, wait a minute, where's Led Zeppelin? Right. how is Weezer ranking higher than the Allman Brothers or something like that?
Right.
There's no way that you can put together a legit list of the greatest anything without somebody going, what in the hell are you smoking, man?
Well, and let's be really honest, like, especially like the actual like Hall of Fames, like if you get an actual brick and mortar structure that's called the Hall of Fame of whatever, how many times have you seen like these organizations just get so far up their own asses, thinking that like, whatever, because it's the Hall of Fame, right? Like it's like, well, yeah, right. Like look at what steroids did to baseball. There's a shit ton of people not in the fucking Hall of Fame right now because they used steroids while they were fucking playing. And fucking guy like Pete Rose, I've met Pete Rose. I got his autograph.
Wait, what? Was he on steroids? I don't remember.
No.
He was gambling.
Pete Rose was gambling. Yeah. He got kicked out for gambling, and he got a lifetime ban for that.
Fucking stupid.
But it is stupid. It is stupid. It didn't change how good of a player he was. That's my whole point. It's like, and these organizations, a lot of times they get kind of up their own asses. Like, you got a game like fucking Bejeweled from last year in the video game hall. Like, what the fuck is Bejeweled, right? But you don't have.
But look at the nominations of that year.
Candy Crush. What?
GoldenEye was nominated that year.
And didn't make it.
Yeah, and
What?
and GoldenEye's not even nominated this year either.
Who's deciding this bullshit? Who the fuck are the chairman of the fucking Video Game Hall of Fame? Because obviously they don't don't game or they just play stupid shit.
Let's break
They're
this down.
probably up their fucking asses.
All right, let's break this down. GoldenEye, icon status.
Yep, easily.
Longevity.
Yep.
People are still playing this shit today.
Worldwide.
Geographical reach.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that doesn't know what the fuck GoldenEye is or fucking at least knows of it.
And the most important one, influence.
Right.
Yeah.
How did Solitaire influence other games that were created?
This is interesting. This is very interesting to me.
Because if you recall, Solitaire was part of a suite of games. You had checkers, you had like all those
Minesweeper.
You had that Japanese J-Mong or J-Hong or whatever.
Mahjong.
Mahjong. Yeah.
Yep.
Mahjong, yeah.
Mahjong,
so there was that.
Mahjong's very fun.
Chinese, by the way. It's Chinese, but
I would.
Yeah.
Asian. Damn it.
So it wasn't really a case of Solitaire being like this wonderful, influential whatever. It was just the one in that suite of shit that you would get on your Windows.
Correct.
That came stock that people played more.
That is correct.
I don't know, man.
Why is pinball in there? If that's in there, why is it pinball? Because I played the hell out of pinball.
I remember that pinball game.
Space pinball was dope. But I don't know, Sean. I mean, I felt pretty influenced being able to choose the background to the deck of cards on Solitaire on Microsoft. That was very influential to me, and now I still have dreams about it and getting the
so full of shit.
I almost kind of feel like Solitaire may have cheated because you get the game for free. You know, as soon as you boot up your computer, there's a Solitaire game in there. So I almost kind of feel like it's more like a cheat. You know, they're.
What happened to those games?
This is like that time that U2. This is like that time that U2 decided to put an album in everyone's phones without their consent.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it was Apple put in that U2 album.
Yeah. Oh, so it was more Apple than it was U2.
Yeah, I woke up one morning and all of a sudden I had U2 on my phone, and I'm like, what? I didn't buy this.
I looked at my phone because during that time I was listening to a lot of heavy metal, and U2 came up, and I was in the Bluetooth in the car. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I don't listen to this shit.
If you recall at the time, this was nothing more than like iTunes trying to be as current as they could be. At the time, Bono was very much on the world scene as some kind of like a diplomat in a way. He was trying to engage in peace talks. He was like this person
when he started that Red Movement or some shit.
Yeah, and even in the Christian world, there was a lot of praise to guys to Bono because he was putting out songs that a lot of the Christian community saw as Christian music. It's a Beautiful Day. Like, it was just sort of like ambiguous enough that like the Christian community latched onto. So he had like universal appeal at that time. But what ended it? That deal right there.
Yep.
When all of a sudden you had stuff on your phone that you didn't want on your phone, suddenly that's aggravating enough to go, I don't want Bono on my phone.
Fuck you, Bono.
This is my phone. I bought this phone. Don't put stuff on my phone. It was a violation of privacy. And so all that stuff that Bono had just went down the toilet. I don't remember anything good after that.
I perfectly put, Sean, because I haven't fucking heard of anything of U2, Bono, The Edge, anything.
See,
for
this is
fucking
fucked up
years.
because now I got It's a Beautiful Day in my head.
It's a good song.
It is a good song. Touch me, take me to another place. Bono, but yeah, hey, we are here. We are here. you're here. Who wants to take the?
Okay, Gordon, here's a
Can I say something real quick just to plug my own stuff?
Of
So
course.
Absolutely.
for guitar players, check out my YouTube channel. Drive-by guitar lessons.
Hit that like and subscribe, right? Hit that like and subscribe.
Yeah, what are they? Smash that. I hate that. Smash it.
Did you know I'm subscribed to you, Sean? I'm subscribed to you. I'm one of your subscribers.
We're all fans.
Oh,
We're all
that's sweet.
fans.
So what makes my channel different than others is that it's brief, it's quick. It doesn't take 20 minutes for me to break down a lesson. I just make a quick little video demonstrating what I'm trying to teach. Usually my videos are under a minute. And then you go down into the dialogue in the chat box below. I talk at length if it requires that.
I make short videos too, but they're not allowed to be on YouTube.
Nice.
What?
They're gonna have to.
They're on a different tube.com.
They're on Billy Billy or on Daily Motion.
Nice. By the way, this that plug was not sponsored, by the way.
Now we're talking about plug.
I like that. I like
what
that.
happens, Jay?
I like that. That was good.
Don't blame me for being a slut. You guys are my friends. What's wrong with you guys?
Which guy? Which speaking of which, if any of y'all want to sponsor us, we're all open to ideas.
Yeah.
We accept PayPal. I'm sure one of us or all of us are on OnlyFans. Maybe we accept donations through that as well. So
I gotta make my money somehow, guys. And
I
just do what I'm good at. I just do what I'm good at. I'm good at violence, and I'm good at playing with my dick.
What did the Joker say, Jay?
If you're good at something, you should get paid for it, right? Like, never do it for free. Never do it for free.
Exactly.
Do it for love. I think it's worth it.
Yeah, we've seen the skills Jay has.
All right.
All right, somebody stop this, please, so we can.
Carlos, I think this is your week, man. Take it away.
Oh man, you know what? So let's end this with saying, you know what? There's a lot of bullshit that's been happening, and don't add to it. You know, if you guys want to reach out to someone, you're having a shitty week. You're going through some bullshit, just reach out to someone, anybody. As always, our inboxes are always open. You know, don't be an asshole, and eat more animals. Fuck PETA, you know, because that's what they're there for.
Stupid dumbass fucking organization. Fuck you, PETA.
Circle of life, baby.
Eat your bacon. Yeah, you know, we
man, I'll eat a motherfucking dog or a cat if it gets down to like starvation time. Okay, I don't give a fuck. An animal's an animal. Meat is meat.
Protein is protein, bro. Protein is fucking protein.
And you can
take it in liquid form, or you can eat it from an animal. I mean, it's fucking great. You just get your vitamins. And if you need help, call someone. Yeah. Not with the protein thing that I was saying earlier, but if you need actual help with your problems.
I will help you.
He said, Jay's always on call.
He said, get your vitamins.
All right. That's all I got for you guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your week. And oh shit, we're gonna be in New Orleans on Thursday. DD214 Gaming Group. If you guys happen to be in the area nearby, or you're in the New Orleans area, come hang out with us. Let us know what's up. We won't post any evidence across social.
I hope you guys have a great time.
Yeah, we hope you have a good time too.
I'm just throwing this out here live real quick. Perhaps since me and Carlos will be geographically located together.
Oh, we're going to call you.
We bump the podcast up because I think we check out Sunday. So I think this time Sunday I'll be on an airplane.
Yeah, you want to try to do like a Saturday special or something maybe?
Saturday.
Yeah. Dark, and we'll have the whole fucking crew.
Yeah.
Saturday is the 27th. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we can do it going dark Saturday night.
Oh yeah.
Sign me the fuck up. I'm down.
Yeah, buddy. All right, sounds good. We'll make it a plan. And also, sorry for being a little hiatus the past 2 weeks. We're trying to get our shit together, so to speak. But catch us next Saturday then, live podcast, and that one's going to be a good one. That one I feel is going to be a fucking great podcast. So make sure you tune in, like and subscribe. YouTube, check us out on Spotify, anywhere else you listen to your podcasts. We're all over the fucking place. Just check us out and tell your friends.
Have a good week.
Adios.
Peace. Dismissed.